Hey, I'm Luke Amy with Allison Enterprise. Today we're going to do a basic walkthrough of the home and components within the structure itself. Over here we're going to start with the most basic, the heating unit of the home. Okay, we have a boiler here. It's fully functional, it's in satisfactory condition. It has proper combustion air venting that exits to the exterior. Okay, it has proper slope, things of that nature. You have the proper safety features. You have your manual shutoff located right here. You have your circulator pumps, and then you actually have multiple zones with this unit, and it's clearly marked here. Okay, you have the proper relief valve extension here. So all in all, your unit is fully functional, satisfactory, and has the normal safety features installed. Over here, we have the expansion tank with a pump. Now we do have city water in this home, but this pump actually helps with the flow throughout the whole home. Okay, so that's good to go. That's a very good thing to have. Your main water shutoff is located right here. Okay, that valve will actually turn off water to the whole home. As you can see, you have PEX distribution lines throughout the whole home. You can clearly see them above right here too. It distributes the radiant floor heat that's installed in the home and the actual distribution water lines. Okay, the water heater. Okay, the water heater is 80 gallons A.O. Smith. It's electric. It's rated for 10 to 12 years. It's approximately 2 years old. We tested the functionality of both elements, and they both function properly. You have the relief valve extension here, and it's showing no signs of failing. It's in satisfactory condition. Now, some common questions that we get with this is, what is this right here? This is the expansion tank. This actually helps with the functionality of the water heater. Okay, so it alleviates overpressure, okay, and that stops your pressure relief valve from leaking, anything like that. Also, this ball valve down here, if you drain out 5 gallons a year out of this, you actually see some sediment come out. Water heaters are guilty from rusting from the inside out, okay, and to preserve the body of the water heater and make it achieve its full life expectancy, you can go ahead and drain 5 gallons of water out of this down here about once a year, and it should be sufficient. Okay. Up here we have the air handler. Okay, it's a very basic unit. It actually, what it does is just distributes the cold air from the condensers located outside. Okay, very easy maintenance. You have a filter right in here, and you really want to change that filter about every 6 months, okay? Because when the clogged filter makes the units operate harder, and actually that can actually shorten the life expectancy of those units. You want to monitor. We've looked here. You have no leaking, anything like that. Your condensate lines clearly drains properly. Okay. Now over here, your main electrical panel. All right. When we come to your main electrical panel, obviously we took the cover off. What we do is we look at your breakers and your wire sizes. They were proper, okay? Everything is satisfactory. Everything is functional, okay? There's no safety concerns here. There's no corrosion, anything of that nature. Your main breaker is located right here. That'll actually turn electricity off of your whole home, okay? So just flick that breaker, your electricity will be dead throughout the whole home. The basement itself. The basement itself is a large portion of the inspection because of the structure. Okay, you clearly see here we have floor trusses. Okay, we're looking at the structure of the wall. Make sure here we have superior walls. We're looking for any heaving, any horizontal cracking, vertical cracking, anything that would indicate any kind of irregular movement. You're going to have some settlement here and there, some step cracks, okay? But there's nothing here. The foundation is sound. It is structurally sound. I don't see anything that's damaged or anything noteworthy, I should say. We can clearly see that your waste pipe, okay? You have PVC waste pipe throughout the whole home. You have no leaking, nothing of that nature. It's sloped properly and like that. Now your interior fuel tanks. Now, just like the water heater, they're guilty from rusting from the inside out, okay? All oil has some water in it. So I looked underneath, I made sure there's no corrosion, made sure it's not any holes, any leaking, any smell or anything like that. They're good to go, they're satisfactory. They're two 275-gallon tanks, okay? So that concludes my period of instruction, I should say, of the structure and some of the main components in the home. So we're going to go ahead and move into the common areas. Here we are in the common areas of the home. Okay, there's a couple things we really focus on in common areas. We're really looking at the walls and ceilings, okay, for moisture intrusion, any staining, okay, and there also can indicate with non-typical cracking a structural problem that we could have potentially missed in the basement. So we're really looking at the walls and ceilings and paying really close attention here. Okay, we also got the thermostat located here for one of the zones. Looking at the walls and ceilings, this is a fairly new home, so there wasn't a lot of typical cracking, and there was no settlement cracking whatsoever. Some friction points of the home when it comes down to moisture intrusion. There's 3 places where I find a lot of moisture intrusion. Underneath the windows here, from the improperly sloped seals, or the caulking separated outside. I actually utilize a moisture meter and I test underneath the window seals. There isn't any moisture intrusion underneath the window sills in the home. Also, I want to look, as you look up there, you can see that where the actually chimney chase protrudes through the roof. That's a very common place where the flashing actually separates, okay? And then it actually can moisture intrude around there, okay? So that's another place you want to monitor, but we're good to go here. The fireplace. Fireplace here, you have adequate hearth. It's appropriate in every manner. It's fully functional. It's a ventless gas, okay? There's no safety concerns here whatsoever. Once again, when it comes down to the windows, we're testing the functionality of the windows. We're making sure they actually lock and latch. But we also test the functionality of the windows, not just for them, but for, once again, a structural purpose. If they're not working, if all the windows on one side of the home are functioning properly, there could be something causing that, all right? And I also, when I walk around in the common areas, I want to look at the doors and make sure they all function and latch. The door jambs, crooked door jambs could also indicate something. And once again, you put 2 and 2 together, you can figure some things out. Okay? So when it comes down to the receptacles located here, I test a representative amount of them. I'm looking for open grounds, reverse polarities, okay? You have no open grounds, reverse polarities throughout the home, and all your ground fault circuit interrupters do function properly, which we'll go ahead and take a look at them when we get to the kitchen. So that pretty much concludes my walkthrough of the common area, and we're gonna go ahead and move into the laundry room and the bathroom. All right, we're here in the laundry room. It's a very simple inspection in the laundry room, very simple things to look for. One thing is the supply lines right here, they're very common to leak, okay? But your supply lines are not leaking, okay? So you're good to go. The ground fault circuit interrupter, this one functions properly, wired properly once again, okay? We want to look back here. All right, we can see where it's vented, and when we did the exterior of the home, we saw where it came out, which we'll talk a little bit more about that when we go outside. But it is vented properly, okay? When I looked at that vent, I made sure there's no holes or any damage to that vent, okay? It's really important to get those fumes out of the home, and if you actually don't have a proper vent, it can introduce humidity into your home. We all know wood destroying insects like humidity. All right, so we're gonna move on to the bathroom. All right, in the bathroom, once again, we're testing the doors, looking at the door jambs, make sure the fan functions, things of that nature. Now I went to the highest point of the home and I ran everything simultaneously. I wanted to check the flow and the drainage. I wanted to ensure there was no cross connections. Once again, just like the laundry room, very simple inspection. You know, making sure the left is hot water, making sure the right is cold water. Testing the outlets, GFCI, making sure I don't need any caulking or grouting anywhere. Underneath here, I make sure that the traps are proper, and I run the water and I grab all the seams, okay? Pull my hand out, make sure there's no moisture anywhere, and we were good to go. There was no leaking pipes whatsoever in the bathroom. All right, we go ahead and move into the kitchen. Now the kitchen, obviously there's a lot of components within the kitchen, so you have to take your time when you get here, and I did that. I tested the functionality of the range, the stove, the fan, the microwave, the dishwasher, and once again, I took a look underneath here, ran the disposal, I go ahead and look at the trap, and once again, made sure that there was no leaking. A lot of times, a lot of homes, we find actually leaking traps. It's very common to find leaking trap. Easy fix, but it's very common, and we do like to annotate that. Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and move to the bedrooms and the attic, and go from there. Here we go when it comes down to interior steps. When it comes down to any kind of steps and railing, I'm going to grab this railing, make sure you can grip it. I shook it a little bit, make sure it was sturdy. I want to make sure it's proper height, proper run, and the actual width of the staircase is proper. We're good to go through the whole interior of the home. So let's move up to the bedrooms. Once again, I'm grabbing the railing as I'm going, looking at your balusters. Okay. So going into the bedroom. Once again, checking the door, moving inside. Looking at the walls and ceilings, non-typical cracks, moisture stains. I tested the fan, it's fully functional. One thing that I want to focus on bedrooms is a safety hazard that we'd like to talk about is a egress, okay? Obviously, egress is a secondary in or out. Generally, most bedrooms usually have windows as the egress, okay? Obviously, the windows do function in the home. They don't exceed the recommended height. They're the proper size, things of that nature, okay? So when it comes down to the bedroom, once again, no safety hazards. We tested the outlets, no sign of a structural problem or moisture intrusion. Everything is functional. So now we're gonna go ahead and move into the attic. Here we are in the attic, okay? The attic's a very important component of the home itself. Not only can you see if the functionality of the actual roof, okay? You have no moisture intrusion whatsoever in here, no staining, anything of that nature. Also, another large thing structurally, your trusses, okay? We can clearly see that the trusses are intact. There's no modification whatsoever, okay? Insulation, also very important when it comes down to heat and cooling. You can see we have a spray and insulation up here. We have approximately 12 inches, which is equivalent to an R value of 38, which is great for attic spaces. That's how much you want. You can see that you do have some baffles right there leading in from the soffit vent. What that does is that's actually assisting the proper ventilation of this attic. When you have good ventilation, your roof is gonna last much longer, okay? So all in all, the attic is dry, shows no sign of structural problems, and it has adequate insulation. All right, here we are in the garage of the home, okay? When it comes down to the overhead doors, we test the functionality of them. Along with the power openers, we actually recommend having safety features installed on the door. And you can clearly see that we do have the safety eyes here. We also do have a pressure reverse, and they do both function, okay? We do have a drain here. Everything slopes slightly towards that drain, which is good to go. We did test the drain, it is fully functional. Looking, you can see the sill plates elevated, okay? Right here, because it is an attached garage, we always recommend to have a proper fire separation. And here, the door is fire rated, okay? It actually has a manufacturer sticker on it that says fire rated. And we actually have a proper fire separation on the ceiling. And actually the back wall right here, as we can clearly see, is concrete, and actually the superior wall itself, okay? So let's go ahead and move out to the exterior.